So hey guys, good afternoon all, and thank you so much for joining today's demo session. This is Shubhankar here from Quantsapp. Today's session it would be conducted by Mr. Gaurav. So he is an option trainer at Quantsapp. So he will be guiding you through some of the tools in the application and how one can make the most out of those and how one can use them effectively. Other than that, just make sure you have connect to the audio in the meeting. Else, we had a lot of requests with regards to the IV tool in the application. So he will be talking about the IV tool as well in the session. So yeah, meanwhile you can just grab a cup of coffee and just have a hang of our application. Also, meanwhile, whatever queries you have, you can just post it into the chat box over there, and we'll assist you upon the same. So, meanwhile, I'll just transfer the controls to Mr. Gaurav. So, yeah, over to you, Mr. Gaurav.
Thank you, Shumankar. And I'm Gaurav. I'm an option trainer in the Quantsapp. And today, the demo session of the Quantsapp tool will be taken by me, and will specifically look some of the tools from the two of the Quantsapp, and particularly as Shumankar said regarding the IV tool, we'll take that, and we'll also look into the result analysis and the result calendar tool. So it will be a mixture of these three, and apart from that, we will also look up, into the triggers. So we'll look into the triggers, and this 3 or 4 tools. So basically, option sorry, result calendar is not a tool precisely, but it's something for the additionally we can look into. So these 3 or 4 tools we want to see, and in last, if we have the sufficient amount of time, we'll also look for the FNO news. So we'll start the today's session. So we'll go one by one. So we'll start with the result calendar first. So it's just basically a tool which guiding you through like which are the results which are going to be announced. And one thing that concept is only into the derivatives. So if you say that you want to look for any non-FNO stocks, you won't get the details here. So everything about the calendar or any tools in the concept, it's all regarding to the derivatives. So either it would be taking you to the options or the futures data. So if I say that about the result calendar, and today if I like see that I want to know which are the forthcoming, and the companies which are expected to announce result today. So if I say this is thus Thursday 21st January. So today around 6 companies are announcing results. And as I mentioned, all are these into the derivatives. So these are the derivatives companies like Asian Paint, SRF, Bandhan Bank, Biocon, Jindal, Bajaj Auto. So these are the companies which are announcing result today. In the same manner, if I want to look into the forthcoming, like I mean to say upcoming results, then I can have a look on the side table of it. So if I say if I am looking here on this page, so I can see that on next day, like upcoming days, which are those companies. So if I say 22, so tomorrow there are some big names. You can see SDFC Life, Reliance. You can expect a big. You can say the big companies announcing result. JSW, SBI Life, and so these are the 4 companies which are announcing result tomorrow, and this all are into derivatives. In the same way, further you can go down, and if you see that a series of banks like Kotak, Axis, Bandhan, Can Bank is announcing in between 25th to 27, then is a mixture of all. So either there are some NBFCs in between, as we have seen. So this is one of the tool where you can see which are the upcoming results. So basically, the motive of keeping this is not only limited to the like whether you can see which are those companies, but it's more on the side. So suppose if you are keen on a particular stock, if you are looking for a particular stock, and if you want to know key when that particular company is announcing that result, so there are many persons, many market participants who are very keen about a particular company and then wanted to have and set up their trades accordingly, whether they want to make their option strategies or futures option strategies. So this is one of the way where you can see, then you can analyze how much time has been left, whether the expiry is nearby. So if you are expecting a move, then what kind of strategy you can build up. So this just giving you an idea. If I say like Axis Bank, Axis Bank is just a day before the expiry. Kotak, Axis, Bandhan Bank. So you can now set up your trades accordingly. You can see that okay, 28 ko expiry है around 28 Thursday, it's expiry. So I can see कि एक दो दिन पहले इनका रिजल्ट आ रहा है, तो how you can set up your option or future strategies accordingly. So it's just giving in a brief. So this was an about of the option calendar. Now suppose let's take any strategy, sorry, any company which are expected to announce their result nearby. So let's take Kotak Bank only. That's on 25th Jan. So now I'm looking towards the result analysis tool, and we'll see why I'm keep taking you through the result calendar, then result analysis. So there's a small motive of me taking you through this direction, that after doing your when you analyze your that when that particular company is expected to announce their result. So as we see, Kotak is I think on 25th is announcing their result, and I want to know कि okay कि अभी भी 4 दिन बाकी है. Now I want to set up my trade accordingly. So setting up the trade can depend on the many of the factors, and it could be of the news driven. It can be depending on the how the performance has been, and there are lots of various factors. And there's come the seasonality factor as well. So sometimes earnings of in a company, like any of the company, it could be from the cement sector, it could be from the NBFC, or there's some reality sector, reality stocks. So most of them depends on the seasonality factor as well. So as we are taking a Kotak Bank, so there's no such, but still I can, if you are taking some any other of the company and looking the performance, and I want to see that how quarterly basis the if company is announcing the result. So how was the result previously? So the main motive of the result analysis tool is to looking into the data and seeing how previously a company has announced the result. And we are looking here, we are analyzing here कि रिजल्ट आने के पहले और बाद मार्केट पार्टिसिपेंट का कैसा एक व्यू रहता है उस कंपनी पे. So if I say, so as we were taking Kotak Bank, so now we are into the Kotak Bank and we are doing the result analysis. So we are not doing actually analyzing the profit and loss and balance sheet, but we are analyzing in terms of the market participants. So let's say कि बॉस अभी रिजल्ट आने में 4 दिन बाकी है, अराउंड 25th को रिजल्ट आना है, एंड रिजल्ट के 2 दिन बाद एक्सपायरी है. So now I have to look, or if you are setting up an option trade, so now you are looking precisely, you are doing your analysis. So this is more into the analysis part of looking into how these stock prices have fluctuated after the result and before the result. So क्या होता है ना कि रिजल्ट आने के पहले काफी ज्यादा मूवमेंट होती है कि देयर लॉट्स ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी कि रिजल्ट कैसा आएगा, कितना आएगा, एक्सपेक्टेशन बीट करेगा नहीं करेगा, एंड लॉट्स ऑफ अदर थिंग्स that could lead into the which we can see in the trades. So if I say I want to look into the previous performance, so अभी फ्यूचर का तो पता नहीं बॉस, पर अभी पहले क्या हुआ है, now I can see. And I want to look that कि अभी रिजल्ट आने में 4 दिन बाकी है, और 4 दिन आने के रिजल्ट आने के पहले, सो 25 को रिजल्ट है, आज 21 हो गया, 22, 23 and 24, so roughly we have 3 days, so that would be good. So if you can see this part, ये table में अगर if you look this part before result, and on the graph if you see the orange bar, so this is my result performance. So this is a stock performance. How many, like suppose अगर 25 को रिजल्ट आ रहा है, तो 22 से लेकर 22, 23, 24, 25, इसके भी इनमें इसमें आई मीन टू से कैसा फ्लक्चुएशन रहा है, मतलब उस 3 दिन का रिटर्न कैसे रहा है उस स्टॉक का, क्या वो स्टॉक बढ़ रहा है या कम हो रहा है, या क्यूमुलेटिव आई वुड से दैट अगर ओपनिंग अच्छी हुई थी फिर एंड होते होते खराब हो गया, या खराब ओपनिंग में खुला था फिर एंड होते होते वेंट टू गुड नोट. सो दिस इज अ पॉइंट विच यू कैन लुक हियर कि पहले कैसा कैसे इसका रिजल्ट रहा है. सो इफ आई से दैट कोटक बैंक का 3 पिछले परफॉर्मेंस for the 3 days before the expiry. So I have the 3 days before the expiry. You can look here. So if I am looking into कि 25 को रिजल्ट है और लास्ट रिजल्ट आया था 26 तारीख को, सो जो पिछले क्वार्टर का रिजल्ट था दैट वाज ऑन 26, एंड आई एम नाउ पॉइंटिंग आउट हियर एंड लुकिंग ओके कि 26 के आने के 3 दिन पहले लास्ट टाइम अक्टूबर में, सो द रिजल्ट वाज इन गुड नोट. ओके, पॉजिटिव था, अराउंड 1.5% से 1.5% से पॉजिटिव था. बट इफ आई सी बिफोर इट, सो 2020 was on the bad note, and we all know the performance of any company would have been into the outliner section. So I don't so this is one of the point, this I can say the outliner thing for any of the firm. If you look into, stock prices were falling, so not really looking into this part. But if I go down and see, now I want to see कि पिछले साल अक्टूबर में रिजल्ट आया था, तो जो जब अक्टूबर में रिजल्ट आया तो उस टाइम परफॉर्मेंस कैसे रहा, तो आई कैन स्टिल सी कि अक्टूबर में पिछले साल भी अराउंड 1.5% से, मतलब रिजल्ट आने के 3 दिन पहले का परफॉर्मेंस अराउंड 1% से स्टॉक ऊपर गया था. उसके बाद देखें तो उसके नीचे नीचे जैसे हैं, फिर जुलाई में थोड़ा सा डगमगा, थोड़ा सा डाउन हुआ, फिर अगेन ऑन दी अप्रैल एंड द जैन, अगेन ऑन दी सॉरी जुलाई एंड दी अप्रैल एंड जैन क्वार्टर का जो रिजल्ट थे दे वर इन द गुड. So it's giving me idea कि okay, this stock can go to any of the side, whether it's an upside, downside, and even you can see the quantum कि जब पहले इनमें जब भी कोई like 3 दिन पहले जब भी रिजल्ट आता है, the stock can move in the 3 days in a big quantum. From the negative end it can go to either almost to 5%, and the positive side it can go to 5%. So it's giving me an idea, and doing the analysis telling me कि रिजल्ट के 2 या 3 दिन पहले there is a possibility that stock, like possibility, I can't say possibility, but it has been the previously that कि stock 5% ऊपर भी गया और 5% नीचे भी गया. So this is how you can see कि रिजल्ट आने के पहले and previously, मतलब पहले कैसा इसका परफॉर्मेंस रहा है. So this is the point which you can see. And if I say 4 days, so even on the 4 days, so 2020 was outlining year. So if we skip that, if I go here, so say from April to almost October 19, April 13, 18 to 22 October 2019, इस टाइम पे परफॉर्मेंस ऑन द वर ऑन द पॉजिटिव साइड. तो रिजल्ट आने के 4 दिन पहले, सो वी आर लुकिंग 4 days बिफोर द रिजल्ट, तो 4 दिन पहले परफॉर्मेंस वर ऑन द पॉजिटिव साइड, नेगेटिव साइड भी रहा है, but out of around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out of 8 only there were 2 times जब रिजल्ट आने के 4 दिन पहले, मतलब 4 दिन से रिजल्ट आने तक का जो परफॉर्मेंस है, that's on the I would say only 2 times were in the negative side, otherwise it's on the good side, on the positive. So even there's a lot of unexpectancy, whether the stock will move, how much will the move. So doing your own analysis and looking into the data कि पहले क्या हुआ है, that can also act as a good uh, analysis point for your trade setup. In the same way, you can sort your days before result, like 3 days, 2 days, 1 days. Now I'm assuming कि 25 को रिजल्ट आ रहा है और 28 को आई थिंक एक्सपायरी है. So you will all hardly have 26, 27, 2 या 3 दिन, 2 से 3 दिन का टाइम to if you are expecting कि एक मूवमेंट आएगा बड़ा, and if you are expecting कि या फिर एक छोटा मूवमेंट आएगा, and you are setting up your trade accordingly. पर अभी क्या हुआ कि जैसी रिजल्ट आया, जैसी आपने देखा दैट कि रिजल्ट तो आ गया, पर मेरा जो एक्सपेक्टेड मूव था, जो मुझे मूव चाहिए था, वेदर इट्स ऑन द अप साइड और डाउन साइड और इन द रेंज और लाइक इट कुड बी एनीथिंग, पर वो मूव आया ही नहीं. एंड आई वांट टू सी कि अब मुझे, अगर मैंने वो स्ट्रेटेजी होल्ड करी फॉर द लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, लेट्स से फॉर द 2-3 days, तो नाउ आई वांट टू लुक कि रिजल्ट आने के बाद परफॉर्मेंस कैसे रहा है. सो इफ आई से 3 days आफ्टर द रिजल्ट, सो आई एम लुकिंग कि रिजल्ट आने के 3 दिन बाद का स्टॉक मूव कैसे रहा है पहले. तो आई कैन से ऑन द लास्ट रिजल्ट 26 October, the performance of that particular of the Kotak Bank after the result was nearby to the 11%. Then before that almost 5%. उसके पहले 2020 दो outliner. Then if I say go down below, still I can see कि result आने के बाद पिछले काफी टाइम से the performance after 3 days is still on the negative part. And अगर बड़ा कुछ quantum है तो that's recent quantums. But if I say like look more into it, कि पहले I can say around 2.5% almost एक negative side रहा है result आने के बाद. So this is something which you are analyzing कि how much a stock movement has already been previously, looking into कि अगर किसी स्टॉक का रिजल्ट आया तो 2 दिन पहले या 3 दिन पहले या 2 दिन बाद 3 दिन बाद कैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहा. सेम वे इफ आई लुक इनटू द 2 days आफ्टर, मतलब रिजल्ट आया और उसके 2 दिन बाद तक का स्टॉक मूवमेंट कैसे रहा है. तो आई कैन से कि रिजल्ट आने के 2 दिन बाद लास्ट टू ट्रेड वाज गुड. लास्ट टू जब मूवमेंट आया था, सॉरी रिजल्ट आया था, उसके 2 दिन बाद का परफॉर्मेंस काफी अच्छा फॉर द लास्ट टू रिजल्ट्स. बिफोर दैट अगेन नेगेटिव. नाउ यू कैन सी दैट after the result the performance is nearby to 1% if I take the cumulative, somewhere around 2% cumulative. Then again there's a downfall. So you can see there's not a big movement over here after the result, from this part. तो इससे समझ में आता है कि आफ्टर रिजल्ट लाइक जो एक अनसर्टेनिटी थी इन द मूवमेंट ऑफ द स्टॉक has reduced. Must stop that particular stock either taking the right move or there's some correction going on. So this is how you can analyze any result. Like maybe it could be a day before result and after the result, how the stock has performed before the result and after the result. And one more thing, this is this performance on a session basis. So suppose I want to see कि अच्छा Thursday को result आ रहा है, Wednesday को off था, so it won't show you anything. So it will show you Tuesday's performance. Tuesday अगर if I'm taking one day before, so it's going to tell me one day before का performance कैसा था on that particular session. So this was about the result analysis tool which we have saw. And further, I'll one second. Okay, Mr. Jayant. So there are two ways. Either you can go to this particular portion 3 horizontal line, and on the analytical section, you can search for the result analysis. It's on the top only, so you can see the result analysis. And there's one more way. If you couldn't find this, you can search result analysis here, and after clicking on it, you can reach to result analysis. Now we'll see some more functionality about this particular tool. And so here you can search all these stocks. Then here days before the result means result आने के कितने दिन पहले you are looking into the performance of that particular stock. And then days after result means result आने के कितने दिन बाद का performance देख रहे हैं stock prices का, stock movement का. And then you have the from date. So here if I say so this is for the last 3 years. If I say I want to look into the from 2014 Jan. So now I can see the result performance of any so now here you can see how the previous performance was, what was the quantum of movement in that particular days. So if I take 2 days before the expiry, so now I can see कि result आने के 2 दिन पहले कितना एक I can see here on May 5th को result आया था 2015 का. Result आने के 2 दिन पहले there was a good up movement of 7 and almost 7.5%, 7.3%. और result आने के 2 दिन बाद there was around negative 8.5%. So I can see there's a big range before then after the result. In the same way, you can also look based on the previous performance of that particular stock. Then you can see कि 22 July 2019 रिजल्ट आने के पहले 5% डाउन था 2 दिन में, रिजल्ट आने के 2 दिन बाद ऑलमोस्ट 2.5% से बढ़ गया. सो दिस कुड बी जैसे जो लास्ट है 27 जुलाई 20 को रिजल्ट आने के 2 दिन पहले 4% डाउन था और फिर उसके बाद रिजल्ट आने के बाद 5% अप हुआ. सो यू कैन एनालाइज एंड यू कैन सेट अप योर स्ट्रेटेजीज फ्रॉम हियर. So now you can see how the stock has moved before and after the result, and what its performance was. And if you guys have any question regarding these two tools, please free to ask. We'll keep a 20-second or 30-second pause and just try to use this tool in the meanwhile and see if you want to reach me or for asking something. So, Mr. Jayant has some questions. Sorry, Mr. Vikas. In directional trade, when we see sorry, I couldn't understand this part. So, if you can repeat. Long built up with near highest call, then how we confirm our breakout trade. So, that too depends on the chart section and looking into the option data, whether the writers are coming and unwinding their position, like whether the put writers are coming or whether the call writers are coming, and at that same level whether there's unwinding happening on. So on the basis of the that, you can look into whether that stock would have a likely movement or not. So that's again comes with the analysis part, and with the help of trigger tool, you can actually see that. And if you are suppose any stock is nearby to its highest call, so and there's some unwinding going on, so it feels for the call writers there's some nervousness for that price. And if there's a strong build up going on the call side, then you can see how the data is showing you. We're going to see about the triggers in this session. Mr. Jayant, yes, this is available on the mobile application as well. So on Android it is available. I'm not sure about the iOS, but in Android it is available. Mr. Sam Survey, so it does not matter if the result date is not known. Sorry, I'm not able to understand what you're trying to say. So if you can put again, so Mr. Jain, if it's not available on the iPhone, you can also check on the web application, where you can just have to you can sign into the web application through your Quantsapp application only through webcam. So for any FNO stock, so if I say Tata Steel, so Mr. Sam has asked me, we don't know Tata Steel result date. Okay. So would this be still true for Tata Steel on this tool? So we'll see. So if I go to calendar and if I search Tata Steel, कहीं ना कहीं तो आएगा. So Tata, whether Tata Steel is a FNO. Tata Steel is an FNO. Now we'll go to analysis. Sorry. So this is Tata Steel. Okay, we have the Tata Steel. So as we don't know about the one second. Sorry, wrongly opened this. Result analysis. We'll go and see this is the Tata Steel before and after. So you can search any FNO stock, whether the result has already been announced for it or not. So now you can see. So basically, it's trying to give you. So its result analysis is just giving you all the FNO stocks, and it's telling you about how the previous performance was for the like for that particular stock. So if you are looking for a particular stock, you want to see how the previous result and result, I mean to say, like if on a particular day on result, तो उसके 2 दिन पहले stock movement कैसा था, उसके 2 दिन बाद stock movement कैसा था. Same way you can see for 1 day and 2 days. If you want to see कि result आया उसके 3 दिन पहले या 4 दिन पहले stock का movement कैसा था उस 4 दिन में, whether it went up or went down, so you can see here, and accordingly you can set up your trade. So even in the for the, you can see here there are lots of before the result, but there's some negative part you can see कि result आने के पहले there's some negative movement for the 2 days before, तो 2 दिन में ही काफी गिर जाता है, पर there's some part जब result आने के बाद काफी अच्छा performance दिया है, and and there's some part कि result आने के बाद कभी खराब भी दिया, तो accordingly you can set. And as I told you कि there are so many stocks, there are so many firms that too depend on the seasonality factor. So you should also keep that particular thing also in mind कि seasonality does put a lot of effect. So there's a possibility कि किसी एक क्वार्टर में कि अच्छा ही प्रोडक्शन होता है, अच्छी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होती है, तो उससे रिजल्ट भी काफी अच्छे आते हैं, बट देयर आर सम पॉसिबिलिटी कि उस पर्टिकुलर क्वार्टर में मंथ में कि उस चीज की उस पर्टिकुलर फर्म का जो प्रोडक्शन है उसकी कभी जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती है, तो उसका सेल्स भी नहीं होता. तो यू शुड ऑल्सो कीप दैट थिंग इन माइंड वाइल सेटिंग अप योर ट्रेड. एंड दिस इज समथिंग एडिशनल यू कैन सी कि रिजल्ट आने के 2 दिन पहले बॉस कैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहा है, whether the stock is going upward or downward, and so on. So there's one more question. The result analysis shows a steady rise close to the result date. Uh, as in, Mr. Sam, if you can elaborate a little. So I think we all are clear with this particular tool, looking into that how you can use this particular tool. I would like to go move to the next tool now. And still have any doubt, please be free to ask it at the end of the session. So, Mr. Sam, for the Tata Steel, I put 7 days to see the trend. The Tata Steel has fallen drastically in spite of subsidiaries being showing good result. So, so Mr. Sam, that's what I said now. So this is something the stock prices movement. So if I say 7 days before, so it's just giving you an idea that 7 days before the result, टाटा स्टील का 7 दिन रिजल्ट आने के 7 दिन पहले का मूवमेंट आई कैन सी कि 7 दिन पहले से रिजल्ट आने तक कैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहा है उस स्टॉक का, कितना अप मूव गया है, कितना डाउन मूव गया है, तो यू कैन एनालाइज. So now we'll move to the IV. Yes, Mr. Sam. So date does not matter. It shows you suppose अगर प्रीवियस रिजल्ट जैसे मान लो टाटा का आया था, सॉरी टाटा स्टील का आया था प्रीवियस रिजल्ट सपोज ऑन अक्टूबर या नवंबर, एनी डेट. सो आई एम लुकिंग कि अगर अक्टूबर 20 को रिजल्ट आया है, सो लेट्स से अक्टूबर 20, वन मोर टाइम विल गो. सो लास्ट आया था 13th नवंबर को आया था. आई एम टेकिंग 7 days एज यू सेड. सो 13 तारीख को रिजल्ट आया. आई कैन सी हियर रिजल्ट डेट मेरा लास्ट आया था 13 तारीख को, 13 नवंबर को. नाउ आई एम लुकिंग हियर कि 7 दिन पहले, सो 13 तारीख के 7 दिन पहले से लेकर रिजल्ट तक उस स्टॉक प्राइसेस में कितना मूवमेंट आया है. सो ग्रीन इज इंडिकेटिंग द पॉजिटिव मूव एंड द रेड इज इंडिकेटिंग नेगेटिव. तो 7 दिन से लेकर रिजल्ट आने तक, लाइक बिफोर रिजल्ट द परफॉर्मेंस वाज नियर टू 20%. और रिजल्ट आने के बाद 13 तारीख को रिजल्ट आया, 13 तारीख के रिजल्ट आने के 2 दिन बाद लिया, so we'll also take here 7 days. तो रिजल्ट आने के पहले 20% का मूवमेंट था पॉजिटिव, और रिजल्ट आने के 7 दिन बाद भी 20% का ऑलमोस्ट, सॉरी 12.5% का अप मूव था. सो आई एम नॉट श्योर कि भाई आगे क्या होने वाला है, दैट आई डोंट नो, बट नाउ आई कैन एनालाइज कि पहले क्या हुआ है, रिजल्ट आने के पहले कैसा मूव रहा है, रिजल्ट आने के बाद कैसा मूव रहा है. सो दिस इज द वन पॉइंट which tells you to help you and analyze you. Now we are moving towards the IV section. Uh, yeah. So IV, I think we all know, we all are familiar with the IV tool. Sorry, with the IV employed volatility. So let's make it some interactive. And if somebody could tell me what is employed volatility, and if they can give me a small uh, idea about the employed volatility and can tell me ki, okay, employed volatility kya hai, just for the making this session more interactive. I'm looking forward from your side. Okay, Mr. Pushpak, volatility gives range in like as in what range or something? Okay, employed volatility is for options. Okay, but what it tells you कि होती क्या है, volatility है क्या, रेंज देती है, मतलब क्या रेंज देना, या as in what you are trying to say? Okay, so yes, volatility. So okay, so I got some few. So volatility annually range बताती है how stock will move. Okay, and word employed state the expected volatility. Is that what is means? Okay, Vega is important. Yeah. So I'll let you go. So employed volatility होती है हमारी IV, and employed volatility means कि it's giving you a forecast of a likely movement of the security price. So if I say that if I want to know कि volatility at present क्या है, what employed volatility is telling me. So employed volatility मुझे बता रही है कि एक एक फोरकास्ट बता रही है कि एक सिक्योरिटी प्राइसेस में कितना, यहाँ के स्टॉक प्राइसेस कितना मूवमेंट आ सकता है. एंड नाउ दैट मूवमेंट कैन बी ऑन द पॉजिटिव एंड द नेगेटिव साइड बोथ. So volatility tells a likely movement, a likely, एक इस पॉइंट को ध्यान रखे, a likely movement in the security prices or in the stock prices. So now the volatility is annually, like as Mr. Pushpak said. So volatility is an annual volatility, but we can also look into the daily volatility, weekly volatility, and we can also see for the monthly volatility. So there are some formulas to calculate that as well. So on a day basis, so we have a one tool called daily stop and target, which is giving you the stop and target, like for any particular index like Nifty, Bank Nifty, or any stock, that tells you what could be the target and what could be the stop losses on the basis of the volatility. So that's why volatility is so important. And employee volatility is telling you कि एक likely movement क्या हो सकता है. So it could be either on the annual basis, daily basis, and monthly basis, weekly basis. It could be for, you can see for that. So for calculating daily volatility, it's like volatility divided by under root of your trading session. So number of trading session is nearby to 250 or 252. So that depends. So you can get the daily volatility. And so employed volatility समझा. Employed volatility मतलब एक forecast in the likely movement on the any stock prices. So we'll see further. And then there's one more called historical volatility. So if somebody wants to tell about the historical volatility, please free to participate in it. Okay, so historical volatility is historical driven, more accurate. Okay, so historical volatility क्या होती है? जो volatility जो पहले थी, historical थी. Historical मतलब जो पहले volatility रह चुकी है, that's my historical volatility. Employed volatility बता रही है what could be a expected move. Okay, so employed volatility is for the forecasting and expected move in the stock prices, and historical जो already थी पहले. Then comes the IVR and the IVP concept. So, like anyone wants to put any view on the IVR and the IVP. So one by one, we are going through the whole IV tool, I would say. So I'm just looking forward from your side as well that if somebody can tell me about the IVP and IVR, or somebody wants to try. Okay, so I will tell you about the IVP and IVR. So first we'll see that what is IVR. Uh, so that's like something on the calculation part as well. So IVR is a favored volatility. So IVR tells you whether the employed volatility is high or low in a specific stock based on the past year of the employed volatility. So अभी मैं देख रहा हूँ sorry sorry excuse me. So employed volatility rank क्या करता है? बताता है कि अभी जो volatility है या तो वो ज्यादा है और लो है इन ए स्पेसिफिक किसी एक अंडरलाइन स्टॉक में based on the previous like past year of employed volatility. So we'll take a small example for it. So suppose एक stock है and उसका IV range कर रहा है between 30 to 60. So अगर मैं कहूँ कि last 1 year में IV has ranged between 30 to 60 and अभी जो IV चल रहा है that is 45. तो last year मेरा चल रहा था किसी एक stock का 30 to 60 and now it's trading at 45. The IV is at 45. तो अब मैं कह सकता हूँ कि IVR रैंक if I want to see कि अभी जो मेरा IV चल रहा है वो ज्यादा है कि कम है as compared to the previous year जो पिछले साल का IV था उसके मुकाबले. So there's a small formula for it. So you can also write it down or you can if you want to note it down you can do so. So it tells you if calculating IVR current volatility minus the previous lower volatility. So current is 45 minus previous is 13. It will be get divided by the your highest minus lowest. So पिछले साल का कितना था 60 minus 30. So it will come as the 50%. So it tells you, it's telling me कि अभी जो मेरी volatility है वो कितनी ज्यादा है, कम है as compared to the previous volatility. So this is something IVR tells you and giving you an idea what is your current volatility and how it's been ranked as compared to the previous year volatility. I think it's slightly on the clear side. And now we'll look for the IVP. So IVP tells you, like बताता है percentage of days over the last year that the volatility traded below the current level. So suppose I want to see that number of days the volatility was less than the today's IV. So if I say that suppose कि अभी IVP जो चल रही है वो 90 है, 90% की मेरी IVP चल रही है, तो it will tell you that the current volatility is traded below. So if I say that IVP is 90, that understanding is that the current volatility volatility traded below the current level from 90% of your past data. I think cleared or like still not clear. So I can take one more example for it. Okay, once again IVP. So IVP, what IVP do? So it tells you number of days, or it can be percentage of days over the last year. So percent of the days पिछले साल का that the volatility, employed volatility traded below the current level. So if I say that कि अभी जो volatility चल रही है it's around let's say 10%. So IVP tells me percentage of days पिछले साल का, कि पिछले साल में एम्प्लॉयड वोलेटिलिटी, आई मीन टू से कि कितने परसेंट ऑफ टाइम और नंबर ऑफ डेज ऑफ टाइम एम्प्लॉयड वोलेटिलिटी ऑफ प्रीवियस ईयर्स हैज ट्रेडेड बिलो द करंट लेवल. सो अभी अगर 10 की वोलेटिलिटी है एंड आईवीपी इज 90, दैट मींस कि पहले जो वोलेटिलिटी रही थी पिछले साल पे वो कितनी लाइक उसके करंट लेवल के नीचे ट्रेड हुई है. So let's take an example here. So if you can see ICICI Prudential and IVP is 75. So if I say my current IVP is 75.6, it is telling me that 75.6 percentile of times पहले पिछले ईयर में मेरी जो आईवी थी वो इस करंट आईवी लेवल के नीचे ट्रेड हुआ है. इट इज टेलिंग मी कि जो आज का आईवी है दैट्स ऑन द मोस्ट हायर साइड देन द यूजुअल. So this is where you can see the IVR and the IVP. So IVR, as we discussed, the rank, it's telling you the rank and comparing कि okay, जो अभी मेरी IV चल रही है वो पिछले साल के मुकाबले कैसे ranked है. In the same way, an IVP tells you कि जो मेरी IVP is telling me the number of days or percentage of times कि जो पिछले साल की volatility थी वो मेरे current level से नीचे ट्रेड हुई है. So this is what IVR and the IVP. I think it's slightly cleared. Yeah, Mr. Pushpak said, yeah, he got, got IVP. So I think we are clear with the part of IVP and IVR, IV and HV. So it will take a bit of time looking into IVR and IVP, understanding it. But if you see, and the formula I told you, if you see and see how the previous volatility is, like say current volatility has been ranked depending on your previous levels, like पिछले साल में कितना highest and lowest था और अभी कितना IV चल रहा है, how the IV, your current IV has been ranked accordingly, you can see. IVP tells you कि पिछले साल मेरी जो volatility थी वो कितना लाइक परसेंटेज ऑफ टाइम कितनी नंबर ऑफ डेज मेरे लो ट्रेड हुई थी फॉर माय करंट IV लेवल. So this is where you can see your IVR and the IVP. Uh, where IV is useful. So IV is useful at most of the time, and if you are doing, suppose you are doing looking into the let's say options, then IV is very useful. So IV and the options have the direct relationship. As the employed volatility increases, then your option premium also increases. As the employed volatility falls, your option prices also falls. So if I want to say that that volatility is increasing, you can also, you can say that option premiums are also increasing. And we'll also see an example where why IV is so important with the help of what if analysis. So this is the part IV grid. This is a one tool IV, and in which you can see the volatility grid. And here you can see for any FNO stock what is the current IV, historical IV, IVP, and IVR. Now here, if you see historical volatility, now the historical volatility is based on 20 days. So if you want to see the historical volatility, let's say for the 40 days, that's roughly 2 months. Now you will have the data according to the historical volatility. Sorry, you will have the data for the historical volatility based on the 40 days. Okay, so 40. So now you can see the historical volatility based on the 40 days period. If you see look back period here, so this look back period is for the IVR and the IVP. So as I told you that we are like IVR is for the ranking your volatility based on your previous 1 year data. So current volatility, how IVR, like it's another 10%, 10%. So if I want to change my data and say, so not for the, I don't want to look for the past 1 year, let's say for the 150 days. So now the IVR and IVP according to your 150 days. There's some internet issue, I think. It's loading very slow. There's some internet, some network issue. Then, so we reloaded the page. There's some internet issue. Then here you can filter the data, like filter as in which are those stocks whose IV is greater than the HV. So I want to see कि अभी वो कौन से stock है जिनकी IV greater है HV से. So current volatility is greater than the historical. और वो कौन से stocks हैं जिनकी historical IV अभी ज़्यादा है current से. So you can see Tata Steel, Power Grid, Infi, Havels. Just lots of stocks whose हिस्टोरिकल वोलेटिलिटी मतलब जो पहले वोलेटिलिटी रही है प्रीवियस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, वो ज्यादा है अभी के मुकाबले. So this is where you can see about the IV, HV and the IV. So it does help you in a lot of looking in the data. Then sort by. So if I'm looking, so if I want to sort the data, so first we'll have all sorting. So now here you can sort by or different things. So if suppose you want to see stock which has the highest IV. So now you can do so. So the idea with the IV of 90, LNT, Housing Finance 74, Canbike 73. So here you can say then based on HV, I can say कि वो कौन से stock है जिनकी historical volatility काफी ज़्यादा है. Now you can see that. Then you can say in the difference of IV minus HV कि किन stock का जो difference है IV और HV का वो सबसे ज़्यादा है. Then IVP कि whose stocks IVP is greater like and whose stock is IVP is less than IVR. So this is a point, this is a grid. So it's basically giving an overall view of all these stocks about the IV, HV, IVR and IVP. And more precisely, as we have seen, lots of filtration which you can do here. And you can also search for a particular stock as if you want to look. Let's say Reliance. So I can see the price, IV, HV, IVR and IVP. So this one about the volatility grid. Now we'll move to the charts. And on the chart, so here you might see IV chart, IVP and IVR historical chart, and IV and HV historical volatility chart. So if I say first we'll go to IV chart. So okay, so this is my IV chart. Now here is giving you an idea कि जो volatility है वो कैसी रही है like over the period of time. So let's take Nifty only for the example purpose. We are taking Nifty. So it's like more on the buy side. So now I want to see कि पिछले 250 days, it's almost a year. उस time में volatility कैसी रही है over the period of time and how this stock like it's taking the future prices. So how the future price movement were in the last 1 year. So if you say here the green line is telling you the future price. So if you want to see कि किसी एक symbol maybe any stock or index उसका future price कैसा रहा है over the period of time, you can look here. Now in the meanwhile you want to understand the relation of why do prices fall when there is an increase in IV or and vice versa. So it's telling me कि जब जब IV थोड़ी सी बढ़ी है सॉरी आज जब जब IV थोड़ा बढ़ रहा था वैसे वैसे there is some point of nervousness in the market which we can see. So the same while you can also look कि जब IV बढ़ी या घटी है तो how the stock prices have behaved accordingly. Now you can see on the Mars the Nifty IV went to somewhere around 100 and 136. There was the dip came on that particular day, and how the normally IV was, you can track the levels accordingly. Now here you can see where was the time when was the lowest IV which has came. So the I think somewhere almost on the February starting something of the last year. Yeah, that's on 24th January. So exactly an year before, the IV was around 10, and you can see there was a sharp increment in the IV, and it almost reached to 136 on March 24 in span of 2 months. Then IV is a mean reverting, so it's reverting back and back and back. And you can see the prices and the IV. You can see the current IV level here of any FNA stock or index. Then further you have the different table view, sorry, chart view, I mean to say. You can see that. And if I go to on the table view, in the table view you can see ki date wise IV kaisa raha hai. So how the IV was, whether it was increasing part or the decreasing part. So you can see, you can track the daily implied volatility of any stock or index. So this was one about the IV chart. It's just giving you an idea and graphical presentation of the IV over the period of time. You can also change or increase or decrease your look back period. So if I say suppose 500, so it roughly goes to 2 years. So then I can say how the IV was over the period of time. So you can see the relation of the IV and the future prices also. Now we will move to the IVR and the IVP. So as we see, as it's a similar, more similar to the IV as what we have seen in the IV chart. It's similar to here also, but here it's providing us more, a bit of more data. So if you say, I want to see everything in once, I want to see IVR, IVP, and IV at the same time. And the same time, I also want to see the future prices. Then you can see here that the white dotted line, it's bit on the it's lots of data here. कभी कभी बहुत ज़्यादा confusion होता है देखने में, समझ में नहीं आता. So for the white dotted line, if you see, if you go here, you can see on the white dotted line, it's telling you the future line. So even on the top, you can see कि okay किस color की line क्या बता रही है. So white line is telling me the future price for it. The green line is telling the IVR. Then there's a if I want to see the IV, then I can see in the orange line. The red line is indicating the IVP percentile. The table view, you can see all of them in one go, and you can also see how the IVs, whether it's increasing or decreasing, how's the IVR and IVP on the previous days, and chart section. And then on the last is IV and HV historical. It's the same. It's just putting one more addition thing of the historical volatility. So you can track the historical volatility over the period of time, and future prices of it. So this was about the IV tool, and I know it's that IVR and IVP takes a little bit of time to understand, but once you go through it again and again, looking into the and putting your own calculation, you will able to understand. And we, like today, when I have covered a small part of it, looking just small part, just looking what does it mean. We have seen कि only कि okay IVP and IVP का है क्या, वो बताता क्या है. We have seen that only. We went to the so deep into it, and we have seen ki how you can use that, how you can use like how you can use this particular tool IV. So putting into the demo session, looking into okay ki IV tool में मेरे पास क्या क्या option है. I have seen that you can see the volatility grid जहाँ पे सारे stocks का you can see IV, HV, IVR and IVP. Then we have discussed about the IVR and IVP over the period of time. So this one thing you can see. Then looking into okay, if I want to see the on the chart basis, I want to see the relation of in the underlying stock or unka IV. So you can do so. Okay, so Mr. Pushpak, uh, IVP in short once again. Okay, so we'll do the IVP again, IVR, sorry, IVR again. So it's telling you that employee volatility is higher or lower. on the past year of employed volatility data. So if I say मुझे देखना है कि मेरी like volatility grid. So I want to rank the current IV based on the previous IV. So we have taken an example. So if I say कि previous year में volatility was in the range of 30 to 60. Let's take let's say 30 to 60. So 30 to 60 was a previous year range of the volatility IV. So I want to calculate the today's volatility and कि अगर मुझे आज अपनी volatility rank करनी है based on the previous like past 1 year, and I say कि previously that sorry, the current volatility is 45 somewhere. Okay, so if I want to rank it, I would rank with a simple formula. So it's like current volatility, that is 45 minus the previous volatility जो थी, previous lower level volatility, that is 30, divided by previous level, that is 30 minus 60. So it gives me 50%. It says ki, okay, your current volatility is somewhere near 50, ranked is 50% from the previous last 1 year volatility. So I think I try to explain in a short term, in a very like in a short manner about the IVR. Now we'll move to the what if chain what if, and we'll see the only the calculation we'll see the relation of the employed volatility to the option. So I'll just always remember this one point, that option premiums are directly related to the employed volatility. It means if the volatility increases, option premium will also increases. If the employed volatility decreases, option premium will also decrease. So in the option, volatility comes as a very danger point when you are taking it, like when you are buying an option or selling an option, can depend. So if I say that when you are buying an option, you always want your employed volatility to increase, but when you are selling an option, you are looking that volatility to decrease. And why so, we'll look into. So this is not a concrete point always, but because the relationship इनके बीच में ऐसा है, there's a direct relationship. That's why we are buyer always look कि volatility बढ़ेगी, तो there would be a more positive like it will help the option premium to gain small sorry, one second. So अगर volatility गिरेगी तो ऑप्शन प्रीमियम ऑल्सो थोड़ा बहुत गिरेंगे. वो कितना गिरेंगे वो भी अपन देखते हैं. सॉरी. सो सो अगर देखें, अभी we have the nifty chain. Now I want to see the effect of volatility on the any option. So the relationship of the IV with the option premium is same for the both call and put. अगर IV बढ़ेगी तो both call and put के भी prices बढ़ेंगे, IV कम होगी तो दोनों के prices कम होंगे. So say कि अभी 14,650 पे का अपन कॉल ऑप्शन देख रहे हैं जो अराउंड 140 रुपए के आसपास है. Now if I say कि अगर मैं ऑप्शन बाय करता हूँ एंड जैसे मैंने ऑप्शन बाय किया, वोलेटिलिटी 15% से बढ़ गई बिकॉज ऑफ सम मूवमेंट. So I can say कि there's no change in the market, but there's an increase in the volatility. Let's say by 11%. जैसी volatility बढ़ी, I saw there was a sudden increase of 15 rupees. around 15 point 15.5 रुपए का increase आ गया on the same option. So if I say I'm buying an option, so I want prices option premium to increase ताकि मैं उसको महंगे में बेच पाऊँ. I want कि अगर volatility बढ़ेगी तो option premium भी बढ़ेंगे. That's also clear. So I can see कि अगर there's a sudden 11% spike in the volatility, I can see it will help both call and put to gain amount of money. In the same way, if I buy a call option और volatility देखा बॉस एकदम लेते ही 10% से गिर गई, so I can see कि I will be losing around 14 rupees or around 14 rupees for both call and put. Underlying stock में कोई movement नहीं है और not there's a we are holding for a longer period of time, but there's still a decline and increase in the prices. Why? Because of the volatility. So volatility is also known as the uncertainty in the market. So as the volatility increases, it also increases the option premium, and volatility decreases, it also decreases the option premium. Let it be either it's a call or put. So direct relationship always sets for both for the option. And suppose if I'm taking a short position, so short position, it's not key. I'm just more keen looking into the volatility come. I'm also looking on the other factors as well. But as in looking into, there's lots of there's a chance of unlimited risk in the shorting an option. And I say कि मैंने short कर दिया boss. So if I say मैंने short करा था और उस time prices चल रहे थे, volatility थी suppose zero के आसपास. Sorry. So here zero is indicating you the current level of the volatility. So if I say कि जैसी stock की volatility बढ़ गई, so if I say there's an increase in, मैंने short करा option और volatility बढ़ गई बस 16%, तो I can see कि जैसी volatility बढ़ेगी, option prices भी बढ़ जाएंगे, which is going to put us shorter into a trouble. क्योंकि वो तो चाहता है कि भाई जब शॉर्ट करूंगा ऑप्शन तो प्राइजेस नीचे जाए उससे उसका थोड़ा मुनाफा हो, बट जैसे ही देखा वोलेटिलिटी इंक्रीज हो गई एंड नाउ दिस कुड बी अ पॉसिबल थ्रेट टू द ऑप्शन सेलर टू द शॉर्टर आई मीन टू से कि वोलेटिलिटी बढ़ रही है तो इट कुड बी अ पॉसिबल इफेक्ट, बट देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ अदर थिंग्स एज वेल. सो आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि वोलेटिलिटी बढ़ेगी, सॉरी, if you are expecting to volatility to cool down, so do anything. The same way, when I'm selling an option, I'm looking volatility to cool down. So if my current level से volatility गिर जाएगी, तो it will help both the option, whether it's call and put, because the direct relation is always going to be stay. So अभी short करो या buy करो, option तो option ही है. जैसी volatility कम हुई, वैसी prices कम हो गई. So this is a part where you can in the option chain what if analysis, you can also analyze the any option, like basically you can analyze hold the option of any stock looking into the IV change. Then you can also do look into the underlying change key, how much movement in the underlying could there's a possibility of affecting it on the option prices. So basically क्या होता है, I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes we are expecting कि okay यार किसी एक स्टॉक में एक मूवमेंट आने वाला, so let's say एक निफ्टी में, for example, if I say so reshuffle the prices. So if I say कि अभी निफ्टी के आसपास चल रहा है 14,640 पे, और आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि यार ये 17,000 हो जाए, 14,700 हो जाएगा, and I want to look into making my own analysis doing okay 17,000 हो गया, तो अभी अगर जैसे जैसे ऊपर जाएगा कॉल ऑप्शन को तो मदद मिलेगा, ठीक है. दिस इज विच इज एक्सप्लेन बाय द डेल्टा कि अगर एक पॉइंट का मूवमेंट है तो मेरे ऑप्शन प्रीमियम पे कितना असर पड़ेगा. नाउ सपोज जैसी मूवमेंट आया वोलेटिलिटी फॉल बाय 10%, लेट्स से 10% से 9 या 10% से बस से 11%, तो जो 34 रुपए का गेन था कॉल ऑप्शन में वो 16 रुपए का ही रह गया. तो स्टिल even though volatility was underlying was increasing, volatility could give a possible threat of losing money. If there's a if you're buying an option, volatility decrease, your option premium will also decrease. Buying an option and looking ki volatility will increase, then it could be a good for buying a call, for any option. So this is what you can analyze your own, you can do your own analysis looking कि okay अगर prices बढ़ रहे हैं तो how much effect you will be having on your option premium अगर IV या बढ़ रहा है या कम हो रहा है तो what could be the effect. And now this third things comes, that is theta. So if I say कि अगर option ले लिया boss, एक strategy बना ली, suppose you made a long strategy and you're looking that कि there would be movement तो होगा, you're looking कि expected movement तो आएगा, but there could be possibility कि जो expected movement you are expecting in a 1 or 2 day move वो आया ही नहीं, वो उसके कारण आपको strategy या कोई भी एक leg आपको hold करना पड़ा for let's say 3 days. Now this will also pose a amount of uh, pain to the option premium. As the days increases, option premium start losing because of the time value of money. So we had also, we if you have noticed, we have also created our own analysis looking into ki okay, that if underlying increases, what will happen to a call and put? If the IV increases or decreases, what will happen to the underlying stock? And if suppose the moment the price moment you were expecting वो जो नहीं है underlying stock में, so you used to have to hold this for a longer period of time. तो अगर मैं कितने दिन लंबे होल्ड करूंगा तो मेरे को टीटा कितना पेनफुल होगा. ऑल कंबाइनिंग इन वन आई कैन सी ओके, अगर अंडरलाइन 14,700 गया, आईवी 11% से फॉल हुआ और मुझे 3 दिन होल्ड करना पड़ेगा, तो इट्स क्लियरली शोइंग मी कि आई कैन लूज अराउंड 14 रुपीज ऑन माई ऑप्शन. फिर अगेन दैट टू डिपेंड कि अंडरलाइन अगर मूव हुआ तो व्हाट कुड बी द पॉसिबल मूव इनटू द ऑप्शन प्रीमियम. So this is how you can do your own analysis, looking how IV could impact your prices, how the underlying movement can impact, how the days to maturity could impact. So this was about the today. So this was about the option chain, and in the last we are taking the triggers. So this will be our last topic for the demo session. So, any of you have ever used triggers before, and you know what the option trigger in the concept means, how you can use this particular tool. So, yes, Mr. Pushpak, if you can tell me something about it. So, I'm trying to keep this section interactive so I can have the interaction from all of you. Okay, so it shows the difference between strike and price. Okay, and more like there's a small motive behind this tool, option triggers, and we'll see how you can actually use it. Okay, and it also shows highest call and put writers. Okay, so I'll start. So I'll take this part. So option trigger. So basically, is telling me कि okay वो कौन से stocks हैं which are either higher trading nearby to its highest call and highest put, and there's a reason of looking into it. So क्या होता है कि सपोज एक स्टॉक है विच इज ट्रेडिंग एट 1000 एंड उसका हाईएस्ट कॉल भी 1000 पे ही है. सो कॉल राइटर्स 1000 पे ही खड़े हैं, स्टॉक भी 1000 पे ही ट्रेड कर रहा है, एंड आई वांट टू सी एंड आई वांट टू लुक कि ओके अभी जो 1000 पे तो ट्रेड कर रहा है और हाईएस्ट कॉल राइटर्स भी यहीं पे खड़े हैं, तो व्हाट दे आर डूइंग सो एट दैट पर्टिकुलर लेवल, व्हाट द कॉल राइटर्स आर डूइंग, whether they are nervous, whether they are showing confidence on that particular part by holding their positions. So it helps me to gaining the what are the thought or on that particular highest call and highest put. So in option trigger, it is giving me that on the this side is the highest call and this side highest put, and all the symbols in the future prices. So the prices here are the future prices. You can see the future prices and strike. So if I say Aarti India, अभी ये चल रहा around 1178 पे and highest call standing at 1300. तो इनके बीच में अराउंड हाईएस्ट कॉल एंड द फ्यूचर प्राइस के बीच में अराउंड 10.5% का डिफरेंस है. आई वांट टू फाइंड दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक which is very near to its highest call or highest put. So I will sort my data. Go down. Okay. So you can see Apollo Hospital, Godrej, Apollo Tire, TCS, Idea, Pidilite, HUL. These are very near, or Reliance. These are the stocks which are very near to its highest call and highest call. If we look in the Apollo Tires, despite it is standing on the highest call, despite that this Apollo Tire is trading near to the highest call, there's still the lots of call addition has been seen here, which showing the call riders are more confident कि उन्होंने और पोजीशन अपनी इंक्रीज करी. So there's a change in increase, there's an increase in the OI at this particular level. So if I want to see and I want to know the confidence level on that, on the highest level and highest call and the highest put, how the like writers are looking here, and whether they are building the new positions or whether they are exiting their trade, they are showing some nervousness of the price movement that could happen. So if you open the option, open interest data for it and see for the level of, so you can see the amount of call additions which has been seen here at the 215, 220 is a strike split. So this is how it helps you to gain कि अभी फ्यूचर प्राइस कहाँ चल रहा है, हाईएस्ट कॉल कहाँ खड़ा है, हाईएस्ट पुट कहाँ खड़ा है, और किस लेवल पे कितना इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज हो रहा है इन दी OI डेटा. Then you can also see whether put writers are coming. So you can see the change in open interest. You can looking into the data telling that whether there's a increase in the put or increase in the call, or unwinding in the call or unwinding in the put. So left side is telling you the unwinding and this is telling you the increase. You can say from the particular date, if I say 21st. So मुझे देखना है कि आज पर्टिकुलर दिन में कैसे हुआ. तो if I say 10 बजे के बाद से मैं देख रहा हूँ how the market participants are looking into this data. So I can see that there's a unwinding in the call position, but there's some built up, or there's a built up that happened in the on the upper level strikes. So there was a shift in the call writers from the lower to the upper level. So this is what you can analyze that with the help of the trigger, that how the placement, how the stocks, where they are trading, whether they are near to the highest call and highest put, how they are doing, what are the confidence level or the nervousness, whether they are showing confidence or whether they are showing the nervousness at that particular highest level and highest level. Triggers. So this was about the triggers, and this was a small demo about the triggers. You can also do so for the put. You can do see which are those stock which is very near to this highest put, and what are the put writers doing. So you can say sale. So if you see any stock in the red, that is indicating that stock is in ban list, so you can't take a position into it. So you can see if there's a stock in the red is indicating, that means that is stock in the ban list. You can say that this particular 65 का भी सॉरी 65.05 पे चल रहा है और हाईएस्ट पुट 65 पे है. So you can say that even at this level there's a decline, there's a change in OI by 9% almost. So that shows कि there's some amount of nervousness among the call writers. Same in terms of the Tata consumer, almost 601 पे चल रहा है strike, highest put की strike है 600 पे, or there still shows some part of nervousness among the call writers. So this is, you can see, see how the, if this stock is on particular highest call and highest put, you can see what option writers are doing there on that particular part, whether they're showing nervousness or whether they're showing confidence on that level. So this was about the today's session, demo session, and I hope you might have understood tools which we have taken today. And please, I wanted you guys to give me a small feedback about that. And one more thing before ending this session, I want to guide you through the concept application side. So we are also running Symposium 3.0 on this 23rd and 24th of January, where like speakers around the globes are coming. So there are some speakers from US, and they are coming, and there are some speakers like domestic speakers, national speakers like Saurabh Sisodia, Rishi Kohli, and there's lots who are coming into this live option conference, where they will be telling about their experience. They will be talking about how they have looked into the market in the different scenarios. They will be talking about how you can build your strategies, how you can look and analyze the data in a more efficient way. So you can also join this webinar by getting a symposium tickets which worth around 7,499, or you can also join Quantsapp family. And if you are joining a Quantsapp family, there's lots of benefits you can get. Either you can go through subscribe application or advisory. And if you do, let's take the example, if you go to the application side, so you just have to pay 15,750. Now this 15,000 does not only limited to the option symposium debate, but you will also get 1 year of concept subscription, application subscription. So application subscription only costs for 14,750, but you are buying options application, application 1 year application plus option symposium ticket, that you will get by just 15,750. So if you are buying only ticket, that will cost you somewhere to 7,500. But if you are buying an application plus option symposium ticket, that will cost you around 15,750. So this is a very exciting moment, I would say, and believe me, you will be having a lots of new experience. The participant and the speakers will tell about their personal knowledge, their personal preference, what they have done in the different market scenarios, how they have tackled the different crises, or what they have looked into, what are their strategies that they are making, what are the indicators they look into. So they will be telling us in a more better picture. And I would say this concept always comes with the part of learning. So learning never stops in from the part of the concept, and we always want everyone to learn more and more about the, and that's why we are bringing the option symposium back this year. And this will be totally virtual online, that you can see from your home, like you can see on your laptop, phone, and can listen. So 2 days is only 2 days are left for it. So please go and register yourself. The option symposium always being as a part of learning, and trust me, you will able to gain a lot of knowledge, looking into lots of different aspects of the options, looking at the different aspects of the market. So this was about the today's demo session. I hope you have gotten through the IV, and again it's slightly on the complex part, but again you can go and refer again and again, so you can have a good hand on it. And apart from that, you can always look for the you can look for the result calendar tool, where you can see which are the stocks going to announce their result and doing the analysis, where you are looking the previous stock performance के result आने के पहले और बाद में कैसे stock movement रहा है. Then looking into the IV, and we have seen that IV has a direct relationship with the relationship of the IV and the option premium is a direct relationship. So you should be keeping that also in the mind while setting up your trade. Then you can do your analysis in the chain, looking into what could be the possible effect of the employed volatility or on the underlying movement or on the time to maturity, how it could affect the option premium in a different ways. Then we saw about the triggers, where we have seen we have just seen that how that writers in that particular situations are doing, whether they are building confidence or losing their or unwinding their positions. So this gives a possible idea looking into the market participants' perspective. So we'll end this session here. I hope you have liked it. I hope you have gained small part of the this demo session. I'm assuming that now you are able to use these tools in a more better way. So thank you guys for being on the today's demo session.